white and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. I wanna roll with the gangsters, but so far they all think I'm too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Really, really white and nerdy. First in my class there at MIT.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Well, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery, and well, this album's all about that.
It is indeed. His name is Weird Al Yankovic, and this, of course, is straight out of Linwood, and he is straight out of Linwood. Weird Al is joining us.
How are you?
man?
Good. How you doing?
Congratulations. This is your first top 10 album and had your first top 10 single.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I've had a lot of albums out and a lot of very popular albums, but the first time it's actually cracked the top 10.
Were you surprised, or did you have any inclination that this one might do better than others?
You never know. I mean, every time I put out an album, I think it's the best thing I've ever done, but you never know if anybody else is going to share your opinion.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
you have to have that
You
conviction.
do. We got to talk about White and Nerdy because, I mean, that is the hit off the album so far. How much fun did you have doing the video? It's hilarious.
That was an amazing video to do. I got to work with Donny Osmond.
And a career goal, I guess?
Of course. I mean, if you do a song called White and Nerdy, I mean, who else are you going to get in your video? Come on. He was amazing. Seth Green, Judy Tenuta, some guys from Mad TV. I mean, it was just a blast to me.
Were you a little bit nerdy? I hear you were a little nerdy in high school.
You know, nobody doubts my nerdy cred.
Can you show the, this is the
I have
actual
to.
graduation
this is
gown?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Valedictorian?
That's right. I graduated age 16 as the high school valedictorian. There's my junior high school
Hustler,
ID.
junior high.
Yeah.
Did you know that you wanted to pursue a career in music when you finished high school, or was
No,
it just sort of something you liked?
I thought I was going to be an architect. I actually went to college and got my degree in architecture. But
How's that going?
It's going great, you know. That's one of my side projects. But
Yeah.
No, you know, music and comedy have always been hobbies of mine, and somewhere along the line it transformed into a career. But
Dr. Demento.
absolutely,
And
yeah.
what was the
Started.
first song that you ever parodied?
Boy, you know, I couldn't tell you the very first song that I parodied. The first thing that actually made it onto vinyl
Yes.
back when there was a medium like vinyl was
vinyl?
yeah, mommy. My Bologna, the Knack parody.
Of
which
course, yeah,
I
my
did.
Sharona.
Being named Fiona, that song plagued my youth.
Of course. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
there's
So
two
thank
things
you,
that
Al.
rhyme with Sharona. Bologna.
But that really was, you know, we live in such interesting times because the internet is obviously, you know, anyone can post anything. But I mean, you were almost the first one who sort of proved that in a weird way, sending in demo tapes and your stuff to the Dr. Demento show.
I suppose you could look at it that way. I mean, Dr. Demento wasn't really soliciting people to send him material, but
Yeah.
I thought I was hearing things on his show like, you know, Frank Zappa and Stan Freberg and Shel Silverstein and Tom Lehrer and, you know, stuff that I loved, comedy material from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And there weren't a lot of people doing that, you know, in my generation.
Yes.
I thought, gosh, well, I could do that. So I started sending him tapes that I recorded in my bedroom with just me and the accordion, and they were horrible.
I was going to say, how'd they sound?
Yeah.
Did you record them on like one of those
Yeah,
little
like a little
old school?
35-cent cassette tape, you know. Just
Awesome.
awful, but he thought it was quirky, and I think mostly he thought it was novel that this like high school kid thought he was being cool playing his accordion and doing these stupid songs.
So sweet.
But yeah, that
Do you
gave
still
me my
bust
start.
out the accordion? And there's
Polka-rama.
Polka-rama on
Absolutely.
here, but on
Yeah.
stage when you're doing the show, you
I
got
do.
it?
I do. It's not in the whole show, but I do bust it out for the polka medley and for Yoda and for one or two other numbers.
Tell us about the live show, because I haven't had the opportunity to see one yet. I'm looking forward to it. But like the costume changes, I mean, you take this very seriously.
Yeah, you know, we try to make the shows as theatrical as possible. There's a lot of production value. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head how many costume changes I have, but I think
That's a lot.
I think it's 3 more than Cher, however many that is. But you know, we do the fat suit for Fat and the Amish costumes for Amish Paradise and the Kurt Cobain wardrobe. So there's a lot going on. We
Now,
try to
you
make it very
mentioned
visual.
the songs that I guess one artist, Nirvana, was very complimented by, and was it Coolio that was insulted?
Well, you know, that's sort of old news at this point, but
Yeah.
there was some misunderstanding way back when I did Amish Paradise. He contends that he never gave permission, but my record label swears that they talked to him directly and he was okay with it. I still don't
Now, do
know.
you have to get permission to do what you do, or is that something that you do out of the courtesy to make sure that it's cool with the
Mostly
people?
the latter. Legally, it's sort of a gray area. I could get away with not getting permission, but historically, I've always gotten permission. I just think it's the right way to do things, especially when you're dealing with rappers. You just don't want to be involved in a
You don't wanna
drive-by
bug 'em.
shooting. You know, it's never fun. You know, you don't want to go down there.
How do you pick your songs that you parody?
You know, there's no real set parameters as to what makes a song a good candidate as opposed to another song. I mean, basically, if I can come up with a clever enough idea and if it's a popular enough song, I give it a shot.
Well, and then there's your original music, which you always have quite a bit of on your albums as well, that really sort of take a broader perspective of things. I'm guessing you're one of those guys that, do you read a lot of news? I mean, do you pay attention? Because a lot of your stuff parodies what's just going on in the world.
Yeah, well, I try to keep well informed, but not a lot of my stuff is what you'd consider topical humor because because of the nature of what I do, I can't really do like much political humor or really timely things because, you know, it takes a while to write and record and get it out there, and by that time, you know, the whole political time, it's gone. So I try to cover more general topics, which is one of the reasons why back in the 80s I wrote a lot of songs about food and things like that, you know, like universal topics. And I'm trying not to repeat myself thematically quite so much, which is a challenge.
Where did the Weird Al come from? That was, you gave it to yourself?
I think probably somebody was calling me Weird Al in the dorms when I was going to college, but I did
see the nerdy photo.
Yeah. But I did take it on professionally when I started doing a shift on my college campus radio station because everybody needed some kind of
the handle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everybody needed some kind of wacky, you know, nickname like, you know, the Captain or Macho Mike or whatever it was.
I've never understood that, but it's what everybody does.
Yeah, but I played sort of weird music, sort of like I was like the surrogate Dr. Demento of our college, and Weird Al, that seemed to work, and it just stuck.
Man.
Does your success surprise you? I mean, you started doing this as, you know, as you said, sending in vinyl to a radio show, and here you are years and years later with your band doing shows that are selling out, and you're still Weird Al.
It amazes me. Every morning I wake up and look in the mirror, and I'm still amazed I'm still Weird Al. You know? How that happened?
You know, I could never get over it. I just looked over and I started giggling. That is honestly one of the best photographs I have ever seen. Because you sell it, man. It's in your eyes.
I like all the artwork on this album because there's no real gags per se. It's just the simple fact that I'm like, you know, I'm this gangsta, you know.
Straight out of Linwood.
And that's your dog, too?
Well, that's not my dog, actually. You know, there's an interesting story behind that. We were doing the shoot with just me in front of the car, and while we were taking pictures, a guy walked by with his pit bull and said, "Hey, you want to use my dog in the shot?" And we said, "Yeah, sure."
Absolutely. You know what?
And we wanted using that shot.
It totally gave you
cred.
cred. Well, you know what? Weird Al's show is sold out. You have to see him the next time he comes around, but you can pick up the album. You will absolutely love it. Al, thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it. Straight Out of Linwood, of course, you can find it, just like saying, you can find it in record stores all over the place. We look forward to your next album as well. We're going to take a break, come back with a little bit more right after this, including the Honorable Senator Larry Campbell. Be right back.